Okay, this is a sort of response video, or it's a message to, I believe your name is Jack. You asked Crypto Coffee a question about CashX. I only saw the snippet from his live stream, and I must admit I feel it rather, to be polite now, rather disingenuous. As far as I can see, he was asked a question which, fair play, he did say that he knew nothing about it. So then why comment, really? He searched the name of it, not even knowing it was on Pulse Chain, CashX, and found a LP pool with an obscure coin with less than $1 liquidity to look at a chart that dumped and make an opinion. So before I go any further with CashX, I would just like to try to show you how I would be more not disingenuous, and how I would either ask people that I trust some information, or maybe how I'd ask myself and find out more information about something. So why don't we actually look at crypto's coin? Yeah, so Top Hat is the name of the coin. So if I just share my screen. The first thing I would do is to go to the Pulse Explorer. So let's see if that's sharing. Okay, so I've gone to Pulse Explorer. I've already got it up, but I searched Top Hat. The reason why I'm doing this is because actually, if I look at Top Hat, there's multiple contracts for Top Hat. If I just put that into Dex Screener, how do I actually know I've got the genuine article? So it's important to know what you're looking at. Now, I can see that this one has got the logo, but again, that doesn't mean anything. But if I click on it, I know that it's got a billion supply. There's a lot of holders. This looks good to me. But ultimately, I'd reach out. I'd potentially ask him, or I'd make sure I've got the right contact address. That is what I would then search for in Dex Screener or some other site where I can see the charts. So if I go to Dex Screener, I'm on the home screen. I would search and copy the contract address. Yeah. Now, unfortunately, typical, Explorer's being a bit slow, and I'm struggling to get the contract address. So if I was going to do Top Hat by just searching, I would make sure I've got the correct one. Yeah, there's lots of liquidity here. This looks good. So I'd go to the PLS. There's 22K LP. Oh, it's down a few percent, but here we go. So let's have a look. So if I look at over the day, I'll look at the chart. Okay, now, to be fair, I go, well, that don't look good, but nothing looks good, and that's in terms of USD. So if I change the ratio to PLS, it's a very different picture. In fact, Top Hat looks like it's really outperforming PLS. Awesome, yeah. I would then look to say, okay, well, there's other pools. Dex Screener certainly isn't the best place to look at the pools. So if I go to liquidity pools, I'll put all the links in the description. I would use the Top Hat contract address, which I've now copied from Dex Screener, and I'd pop it in to see all the liquidity pools. And Top Hat, there's a lot of liquidity. That's awesome, yeah. So V2, there's near $115,000 worth of liquidity, and by far the biggest pair is with Peacock. And that's something that a lot of people are insanely bullish on. So I'd say, and then someone's up-fronted a lot of Peacock for that LP. Awesome. Yeah, there's 22K in PLS. Nice. You've got a lot nice liquidity here. Now, what I would then do is I'd look at the Peacock pool. So jumping back to Dex Screener, I've just jumped onto Peacock. And again, in terms of USD, it's not very helpful. But if I go to Peacock, I can see that it's down against Peacock. So if I invert the pair, I can see that Peacock is really outperforming Top Hat. which means it's dragging, those R-bots are dragging Top Hat's price up against PLS. If you're holding Top Hat, it's really good that Peacock is helping support the price. If I was a liquidity provider and I put Peacock and Top Hat in, I'd know that if I was one of the first to put it in, I'd have a lot more Top Hat and a lot less Peacock in my pair, something that we call impermanent loss. If you didn't want to lose your Peacock, that might not be the best play, but it is what it is. But whoever's put that in is really helping that coin. But these are the types of things that I would do and I would look at. So to just say CashX, never heard of it. Let's put CashX in. Oh, look, pause. JD DARPA. All right, to be fair, it doesn't say about any of the liquidity in here. If I click on that, oh my God, that doesn't look good. Oh, hang on, there's only one buyer. And it says there's literally maybe something's going on here. I wouldn't use this as a barometer of understanding what a coin is doing. So now let's talk about CashX. By typing CashX in, how do we know we've got the right one? So back to Pulse Scan we go, and you'll see that putting CashX in, there are numerous CashX, BabyX. There's about 4 or 5 different CashXs. So how do we know which one's correct? Well, I can tell you, because I'm part of the community, it's the contract ending in 665, but you'd need to do your due diligence and find out. So if I click on that, then I can see, yeah, there's hundreds of holders. There was a supply. It seems to be going down. CashX is a deflationary coin. I would feel confident in looking at this, that this is certainly a coin with, you know, that's doing things. But again, I would make sure I would find the correct contract. Now we've got the correct contract. All right, I can't copy it from here. Pulse Scan's being a bit silly, but never mind. So if I was using Dex Screener, I would take the contract address, and it was in fact this contract address. So we'll come to this pool in a minute. But I would search, instead of writing CashX, I would put the contract address here to make sure I've got the right one. And indeed we have. And I would find the PLS pool. Yeah. So with PLS, yeah, it's 3% down. Okay. But now suddenly it's a very different picture, isn't it? Now, that coin seems to be outperforming on the US dollar price. Quite rare at the moment, with everything being down and everything being so paired to cause. If I change to PLS, I get an even better picture that actually CashX is virtually at all-time highs against, let's change it to, yeah, the days against PLS. All right, it started off, because I know this information, but it started off at 1-to-1 with PLS. It's now currently 4.28. Now, that's a lot different to a chart with one red candle, isn't it? Yeah. So if I then use the contract address, let's explore a bit more. We'll go to liquidity tracker. I scan, I see what kind of liquidity we've got. Okay, nice. This has got $53,000 worth of liquidity at the moment. Now, with the biggest pair is with its sister token in the ecosystem. What I would be looking for is that there's definitely an amount of liquidity in PLS and cores in general. So yeah, we've got 6,000 in 6,500 in PLS, but we've also got a few almost the same in UPLS. If you don't know what that, and there's also a couple of thousand in VPLS. So they are like liquid staking versions of PLS, programmed to outperform PLS. So there's some other core LPs in the sense of being able to enter and exit or reasonable amounts. We can do just that with that liquidity. So that's what I would be looking at. Now, back to the charts. Yeah, we can see if we search the contract again, it gives you a bit of an idea with some of the volume with Deck Screener. It's not the best, but it shows you some of the volume. So 90 bucks in that, 60 bucks in that. And you can start getting an idea of what's just going through with the ARB bots if there's no buyers and sellers, because CashX is a tax token. Now, there is utility with CashX. If you didn't know, it was launched with a sacrifice to create a treasury. The treasury is run by Cash, and the community trusts Cash to do just that. And he's absolutely proven to be doing exactly what he's doing with it, which is investing and generating cash flow. And that cash flow is going in to buy and burn the coin. If you come to the Telegram group, you will be able to talk to us, but it might be hard to see some messages in between all of the automated burn bots where we're seeing the burns coming through all the time. Cash is very upfront and he's telling us what the treasury is doing. At the minute, we've been on a 3-day hiatus from buying and burning to accumulate more funds for the treasury. We've done that a few times over the few months CashX has been up and running, and we've currently burnt over 7.5% of the supply. Every single token that was burnt was bought and burnt, so that's been buying up the price and burning it away, never to be sold down. There's plenty of other things to talk about with CashX, but we've got videos for that, and say do some due diligence yourself. What frustrates me is a supposed, KOLs and all of this, just not, if you don't know about something, just go, I don't know. It's not in my nature to criticize or, to shit talk, but perhaps some of these people make their living from YouTube, and instead of saying I don't know, they would rather just make stuff up, or just, to be fair, just be disingenuous. I'm making this video because I like Cash. I like CashX. I like what he's doing. And for me personally, my job, I'm a father. My second job is I'm a maths teacher. Then some of my hobbies, crypto is just one of my hobbies. But I'm trying with crypto to better my life for me and my family. So I don't like to see people lose their money. I certainly don't like it when I lose my money. So I really think CashX is an ecosystem where we can actually all benefit. If you listen to Cash's approach with it, he seems to be playing out where we can actually all win. So if I didn't know about it, I would just say I don't know about it. But I've calmed down a bit, but it really did anger me. I was super pissed when I saw that little video, because it's almost like it could be seen as someone is actually trying to turn you away from something which is working. I don't know, that's for sure. I'm not going to lay any claim. That's not in my nature. But Jack, if you are, this video is for you, for no one else. If this gets one view and you've watched it, that is my goal. All links to do with CashX is in the link to this description. I hope you come into the Telegram so we can tell you all about the system. And if you stay, you stay. If you don't, you don't. All I really look forward to is just having a bit of discourse so you can get your information. You can have your informed consent and then you can make your own decisions. I hope you're watching it. Thanks for your time.